So what is the full spectrum anger effectiveness system and how can you enroll? There are 4 shades of anger. 1 is helpful, but it's rarely called anger. 3 are harmful, but are far too common. Anger management helps with only 1. Even most psychotherapists don't know what you're about to discover, which is full spectrum anger effectiveness. So you see on your screen a diagram that depicts full spectrum anger effectiveness and this system that I call Conquering Anger Mountain that includes boundaries, escalation, flooding, anger purgatory, completion, repair, and a new plan. At the bottom you see the lodge, which is simply a symbol. The whole thing is a symbol, of course, but the lodge is a symbol of feeling cozy in front of the fireplace with your friends and enjoying a great time. And you simply emerge out of the lodge onto Anger Mountain when there are boundaries to discover or honor. And if those aren't discovered and honored, then you make your way through various parts of Anger Mountain. What full spectrum anger effectiveness is your ability to recognize and embody helpful empowered anger, which is boundaries, and recognize and take responsibility when you're in distorted, disempowered, harmful anger, which is escalation, flooding, and anger purgatory or looping anger, and bringing yourself back from those forms of anger that are not helpful into helpful, authentic, empowered anger with attendant repair and a new plan if and as necessary. The 4 shades of anger effectiveness include boundaries, self-disclosure without justifying yourself. That requires boundary effectiveness upgrades. Escalation, which is agitation on top of boundaries, and the agitation is created by inner critic negative perspective. And that calls for escalation U-turn effectiveness upgrades. Flooding anger, which is reptilian brain takeover, where stress chemicals in our brain shut down the thinking part of our brain, the cortex, and activate the limbic system, the reptile part of our brain, which is all about fight, flight, freeze, or faint. And flooded anger calls for time-out effectiveness upgrades. And then anger purgatory, stuck, looping, recycling anger, which calls for effectiveness upgrades in anger completion and repair. Why does each shade of anger require different effectiveness skills? Well, boundaries prevents the 3 harmful forms of anger from having to show up in the first place. Escalation calls for U-turns back to boundaries. Flooding makes escalation U-turns temporarily impossible and requires timeouts instead. And looping anger, anger purgatory, recycling anger, requires completing old unresolved anger that keeps being involuntarily reactivated in the present, so you stop being triggerable in the first place. This training program, the Full Spectrum Anger Effectiveness System training program, is 9 hours of training, 6 modules, 90 minutes each, and each module includes a 90-minute webinar, worksheets, and later on, when these become available, audio track and a transcript. Plus, for all of the modules, you have a private conversation group that you'll have access to in order to ask questions and have conversation in between the webinars. Now, this is 5 simple systems in one. Helpful anger expression system is boundaries intelligence. That's the first system. The second system, and that's the first module. The second module and system is escalation U-turns and flooding recovery systems. The third module is looping freedom system, so freedom from recycling, looping, anger purgatory. The fourth is the anger completion system, which is a system for completing anger that's based on a 20-plus year study on anger completion at the University of Arizona. And the fifth module is an effective apologies system, so repair, damage repair, and a new plan. And the sixth is a bonus webinar, which is a troubleshooting mastermind webinar. This course starts on Thursday, June 25th, 2015, And the webinars will be available not only live, but by recording if you're not able to attend live. And you'll be able to ask questions regardless of whether you're present on the webinar live or not. So you can watch live, you can watch when your own schedule enables that to be possible for you. And the cost, instead of $147, which is the regular cost for this, which is of course much lower than this ought to be, but I just didn't listen to that input that I got about what I really should charge. And so $147 is the regular price, which will snap back into place on June 24th and June 25th. Enrollment stops on June 25th, but between now and June 23rd, the enrollment price is $97 instead of $147. So if you think about 9 hours of webinar training, including all of the extras, 9 hours for $97, well, you do the math. Your early responder discount, as I said, ends on June 23rd, 2015, and the enrollment link to enroll in this is www.drgruder.com/anger effectiveness. And this is really about your key to personal power mastery. Now, the thing that I want you to know before you enroll, just by way of informed consent, is that this course is strictly educational. It means if you enroll, it means you agree that how you understand and utilize what you learn is solely in your hands. It can't be in my hands. I can't know how you're understanding or utilizing this material. And this is an advanced system. This is not anger management training. That's all about symptom control. And instead, this training focuses on anger prevention, anger completion, and anger repair mastery. This is also not an assertiveness training program, which is about changing behaviors without internal shifts. This program focuses on stepping into your authentic, effective, collaborative personal power at home, at work, and in your communities. In other words, this advanced system, this full spectrum anger effectiveness system, provides you with key foundational life skills for authentic, empowered, collaborative integrity. And again, look at the slide, you'll see the reminder about when the course starts, which is June 25th. 2015, and the early enrollment discount that's available to you through June 23rd through the link that you see on your screen, drgruder.com/anger effectiveness. And here's a quote from Lillian Walker that says, "Never in a million years did I imagine that anger effectiveness had anything to do with living whole and a life of integrity. Our team is buzzing about it." Iwawari Berrien James from Nigeria says, "Terrific, original, very well articulated, even helps people answer their own questions." Beth Spencer from Australia says, "One of the best theories of anger and how to use it wisely that I've ever run across." Jeff Ning from Canada says, "Terrific, learned a lot, will definitely help my journey toward self-improvement." Cynthia Hutchison from the United States says, "Skillfully blends emotional intelligence, heart-centeredness, and practical learning. Dr. Gruder's clarity, compassion, and wisdom and humanity make him very easy to relate to." Alfred Heath from England says, "By far the most comprehensive treatment of how to conceptualize anger issues I have ever been exposed to. Clear and easy to digest." And Craig Collins from the United States says, "Without this system, it would have taken me a lifetime to develop my ability to resolve conflict without anger or force." So again, this is 6 modules, 9 hours, so 90 minutes for each module for $97. You do the math. Your early responder discount ends June 23rd, 2015. The course starts on June 25th, and the enrollment is drgruder.com/anger effectiveness. And remember that you can attend the modules, each of the webinars live, or you can view the replay at your own leisure in your own schedule. So I look forward to having you on this course with me. And if you have any questions, just let me know. You can email me at drdavid@thenewiq.com. That's DRDAVID@THENEW, the letter I, the letter Q.com. And again, remember, enrollment, drgruder.com/anger effectiveness. See you in the course.